Giants fans, how we doing? It's been a while since I made a video. Basically the whole off season. But hope you all doing well. Hope you all are nice and rested, raring to go to see our New York Giants hopefully take that next step to competency. It's all we can hope for at this point. We have gone through some bad times, but I believe those times are almost over. I won't say they are over, they're almost over. We still have some growing pains to get to. I don't expect we'll win many games this season, but nonetheless, I believe there'll be some positive takeaways from this season that will lead us to have some hope that the season after and the season after will be significantly better than the last. So let's go over some notable changes that we've had, specifically on the roster. Now, I know there's been a lot of moves and a lot of stuff that happened on the offseason, but I don't like to go over all. I kind of wanted to wait basically until the season started and we knew exactly who was on the roster. So that way there won't be any guessing, there won't be any fluff, any BS. Like, y'all remember the whole Matthew Stafford thing, right? That happened. And we're here and it looks totally different. So, that's kind of why I wanted to wait. Also because, I don't know. Who knows? I may do off-season content this time around. Who knows? But for now, I kind of like just sticking to when the season actually happens. So anyways, let's start talking about the season. So notable changes on the roster. The QB room has been completely overhauled. I don't think anybody should be surprised at that. Our quarterback room has been a very weak area of this team for far too long. And the main reason why no one took us seriously. Because our best quarterback was Daniel Jones. And everyone behind him, other than Tyrod Taylor, was not better than Daniel Jones. So, obviously. But now we have Russell Wilson, who I don't care what people say. A lot of people say he's washed. He's not what he used to be. He's terrible. No. Us New York Giants fans know what terrible quarterback play looks like. Now, I'm not just talking about Jones. Do we all remember Mike Glennon? Do we all remember Jake Fromm? That happened, all right? We know what bad quarterback play looks like. Russell Wilson is an upgrade to anything that we've had in the last few seasons. Anything we've had. So I don't care what people say. Russell Wilson, if we protect him right, and we have enough weapons on the field for him to throw to, Russell Wilson can still be a good starting quarterback in this NFL, in this league. He's a Super Bowl champion. You can't take that away from him. I don't care how, quote-unquote, washed he is. He's still better than anything we've had. And he's right to be the starter. Now, for how long? Well, that'll depend on his play. Obviously, for the sake of Brian Dable and Joe Shane's job security, they're going to hold off Dart as long as possible. Because if they start him too early and we suck, they might fire them. But if we start him later in the year and we suck, well, we need to see more, so we're going to keep you guys for a second season. I'm sure it's exactly what they're thinking. So they're going to have Russell start as long as humanly possible. Me personally, I don't want to see Jackson Dart until we either clinch a playoff berth or we're out of the playoffs. So that could be as late as week 10 to week 14 or whatever. That's when I don't want to see Dart any time before that. Because if you see Dart any time before that means this team is horrible. I don't want this team to be horrible. I want Russell to start and lead us to a solid season. Now, and of course, Jackson Dart, our second string. I'm not surprised that he's second string. He looked very, very good in the preseason. That's why a lot of people are wondering why he isn't starting already or when it will start as soon as like week 3 or week 4. If he did, I wouldn't be the most surprised. Like I said, I just hope that he sits out. I'm not trying to compare this situation to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones. Jackson Dart is Jackson Dart. I feel that we have a better team around Jackson Dart. If he did have to start early-ish in the season, that he'll be decent. But just for the sake of where we're at right now, I would prefer he doesn't come in until way later. And of course, Jameis Winston, one of my favorite players in the league, a guy whose jersey I will get, Lord willing, I will get his jersey. You know, former Seminole led our glorious Florida State Seminoles to a championship. He's our third string. Not too surprised. If something happens to Russell, will Jameis start? I believe if something happens to Russell, God forbid, very early, Jameis might jump Dart, maybe. But the fact that he's third string, I'm not surprised. Jackson Dart, I mean, he just looks really good. So, but even no matter how you feel about Wilson, no matter how you feel about Winston, who we know throws a lot of picks, this quarterback room is significantly better than what we had. I'm happy with what we got, and I'm looking forward to the season and how it works out. As far as the running backs, nothing really much changed. Tyrone Tracy still a starter. Motor still our second string, but Cam Scatterboo, one of our most popular draft picks outside of Jackson Dart, probably the most popular outside of Jackson Dart. Guy is basically just a pure football player. Guy is a bruiser, fast, strong runner. Very excited to see him play. If you don't know this, probably my favorite Giant of all time is Brandon Jacobs. I just love the way he just punished people that wanted to tackle him. He just ran straight through them and just forced our way to get those short yards that we desperately need to make the next down that much easier. I absolutely love Brandon Jacobs. If I could get his jersey one day, I will. It's not on the shop, so I might have to get it another way. But Brandon Jacobs, one of my favorite players, Giants of all time. Absolutely love the dude. Cam Scatterboo, if he could be sort of like that as far as bruiser, punishing runner as he grows, and becomes better, and I'll be so happy. I'm hoping for big things for Cam Scatterboo on this team for a while, for sure. Coming off a hamstring, only played in one preseason game, but hopefully he'll be ready to go. Based on this depth chart, I don't think he'll be getting too much snaps, just to be on the safe side with him. But I'm sure we'll see him in game one at some point, and I can't wait. Now, as far as wide receivers, we know Neighbors. We understand. There's nothing really to say about Neighbors. He is him. If he can stay healthy, we're gonna be just fine. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hyatt. Now, had some drops in the preseason. Definitely didn't look promising. I know a lot of people are wondering why he even made the roster. Obviously, they still see something in him. They still believe in him. So if they believe in him, I believe in him. But my faith is not too strong in Jalen Hyatt. I'll be completely honest. Hopefully, he proves us wrong. He shows us something, and he can contribute. This wide receiver room isn't really the strongest, so a good Jalen Hyatt will certainly help. Bryce Ford-Wheat, unfortunately, is on IR. I was looking forward to maybe seeing him. Maybe take that step up to be wide receiver, but unfortunately, he's IR. Hopefully, he comes back and we can see him, because he's a big body. If he can become a solid player for this core, we're gonna be looking really, really good. Trust me, guys. Wandale, some people are down on him. I'm still high on him. I still remember his first game where he absolutely went off. Unfortunately, tore his ACL in that very same game, but came back and makes plays here and there. But still looking for him to take that step up. I believe he will, but time will tell. Bo Collins, another new addition. I think he's an unrestricted free agent. Had a nice catch from Russell Wilson in the preseason game. Guy can obviously gun it. Guy can obviously catch. We'll see. But the fact that he came out of nowhere and made a roster spot either shows how thin this room is, or shows how good he is, or both. Either way, happy to have him on the team. And Gunnar Olszewski is also listed on the wide receiver depth chart. Did see him a little bit in the slot where it looked pretty solid. Guys are good. Obviously, with all that punt return experience, he'll be good at running after the catch and making some plays here or there. So we'll see how it goes. Other than that, everybody's pretty much still the same as far as our wide receivers. Hopefully, they can work out. Theo in our tight end room, pretty much the same. Theo, tight end 1. Daniel Bellinger, tight end 2. Chris Manners, the blocking tight end 3. And Thomas Fidone, one of our late draft picks, made the roster. A lot of people wondering why Greg Dulcich didn't make it. Just wasn't enough room. And plus, Thomas Fidone, he's younger, has more upside, so I can kind of see why they didn't keep Dulcich. But Dulcich was pretty good. So I don't know if he's on the practice squad or he went somewhere else, but we'll see. But I'm pretty happy with the tight end room. Linemen, pretty much the same. Same 5 people, same 5 positions. Andrew Thomas, as we can see, is doubtful because he's still dealing with that. His foot. The Liz Frank injury that he got in that game against the Bengals last season. I forgot what week that was, but it was a bummer that it was yet another year where Andrew Thomas is out for the rest of the season. But the good news is that last season we didn't collapse at line like we did in 2023. So hopefully he doesn't get injured again. But if he does, I think we'll be okay. But there's no doubt when Andrew Thomas is in the lineup and he's healthy and he's playing, this team is literally a whole touchdown better. I think I got that stat from Giants Now by Chat Sports. I can't remember where he got the stat from. But basically when he plays, the Giants are like 7 points better, which is basically a whole touchdown. Andrew Thomas, there's no doubt we've seen with the limited ability of Daniel Jones. With Andrew Thomas, Daniel Jones became a solid starting quarterback. Andrew Thomas is that good. So for us to have the big jump in production and the big jump as far as the whole team in wins and just, looking better and being a more reputable team, Andrew Thomas is certainly the key to all of that. So hopefully, if he doesn't play this first game, he comes back exactly when he's ready and he plays the rest of the season. But other than that, big changes. Evan Neal is now listed as a guard. Very, very good run blocker, very bad pass blocker. Will that continue? We shall see. He's not only is he not starting, but he's not even playing tackle anymore. So I'm sure he knows that his time is limited. Hopefully he takes that step, but at some point you have to just say, call a duck, right? We'll see. Also, some acquisitions here. Marcus Bowe, one of our draft picks. Pretty solid tackle. I'm sure if he has to come in, he'll do decently. Maybe even for left tackle. We'll see. But other than that, same lineup. Did we add James Hudson as well? We might have added James Hudson the third, too. He's our backup left tackle. I think he came from the 49ers. Solid veteran. I'm not surprised that he would be the first option in the off chance, or in the case that Andrew Thomas isn't playing. But I would like to see Bo there, just to see if he can handle that, too. Our young gun. But, we'll see how it goes. But line's basically the same, which is good for continuity's sake. Hopefully, Andrew Thomas stays healthy. Most of them stay healthy, relatively healthy, and can continue to mesh and grow because, like I said earlier, in order for Russell Wilson to be at his max, we need good protection. So that's our offense. Pretty solid. Now, our defense had a lot of changes. The biggest two being this man right here and this man right here. Paulson Adebo from the Saints, Javon Holland from the Dolphins. So a new cornerback 1 and a new safety, and a new free safety. Definitely some upgrades, some well-needed upgrades in free agency. Good signings by Joe Shane, we hope. We'll see how it goes, but I have no reason to think it'll be bad. These guys are already proven stars in the league. So I'm sure they'll work out very well. But on top of that, this man right here, Abdul Carter, our number 3 overall draft pick, the guy who looks to be an absolute monster coming off the edge. With the addition of him, Javon Holland, Paulson Adebo, and the rest, and the rest of the cast: Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Drew Phillips, Tyler Nubin, hopefully growing as young players. We're looking pretty good on defense. My biggest concern would be the cornerback 2 spot, aka between Deonte Banks and Cordell Flott. Deonte Banks, even more so than Evan Neal, is a big disappointment. He was once a first round pick. I'm not sure if he was Wink's guy, because he came out when Wink was the defensive. I don't know if Wink has something to do with that. I just remember when he was picked, Wink went over and hugged Shane really, really hard. So I think he really wanted Banks. But to be honest, maybe it's because of the new defensive scheme. I don't know, but Banks has looked pretty bad. And very, very disappointing. To the fact where Cordell Flott was listed as the starter, I thought, but they have Devontae Banks listed right now as the starter. We'll see how it goes. Whoever starts, that cornerback 2 spot is definitely very, very suspect. So we'll have to see how they can, possibly fix that. We'll see. But other than that, this defense looks solid. The line looks to be amazing. Bobby Okereke and Mikey McFadden are still here. Roy Robinson Harris, Nacho, very solid players. And who else did we add? And Musal was last season. Who did we add besides Carter? Oh yeah, Darius Alexander. We got him from, I forgot what school we got him from. He's a relatively older player. I think believe he's like 24 as a rookie, which is pretty old in comparison. But he's not old. He's still young. Didn't see too much from him in the preseason, but hopefully he's a solid piece, a solid addition on this defensive line. That as far as the actual interior outside of Dexter Lawrence, a little suspect as well, but hopefully they can get it together. I just think with our line all together as a collective, it won't be as bad. So defense, I'm pretty high on the defense, to be honest with you, and I'm pretty high on the offense. I think we could win more than expected, for sure. We'll get into that in a little bit. As far as special teams, same stuff. Gano's back. Hopefully he stays healthy, seriously. Jamie Gillum, who just gets better every year. He's definitely living up to his name of Scottish Hammer. Guy is absolutely banging balls down the field. Gunnar Olszewski is our primary returner, and Casey Cryer, our long snapper. And we got Devin Singletary, Wandale, and Tyrone Tracy at kick returners. So maybe they'll switch out. Since we see Gunnar listed as a wide receiver, maybe they'll switch out sometimes. Interesting to see Tyrone Tracy back there. That might be a killer. But that's our team. Let's take a look at our schedule. Now, as I'm sure you've been hearing from a lot of Giants, Giants influencers and talkers and analysts and all that stuff, our schedule is not. Our schedule is crazy. Now we are in the NFC East, so by default, we're playing 3 other good teams. I thought the Cowboys would be absolute crap. They showed us that they're not. They played the Eagles pretty good, and honestly, outside of some missed drops and a fumble, they honestly could have beat the Eagles on opening night, and it wasn't like a fluke or nothing. Like this team could have legitimately beat the Eagles last Thursday night. So I don't know if that means the Eagles took a step down or the Cowboys just aren't as bad. I kind of lean towards the Cowboys aren't as bad as we thought. Because Dak Prescott, remember what people say, he's still a solid quarterback, still a top 15 quarterback. Guy can sling the ball outside of a few misses, but he's a good quarterback. And the team, no matter how we feel about Jerry Jones, they usually draft very well. So not surprised that they're not. I shouldn't be surprised that they're not horrible. I think part of that was just me just hoping that we wouldn't be the worst team in the division. But for what I can see that Eagles-Cowboys game, we might still be the worst. Now, it depends on what we see with Washington, but I have no reason to believe Washington takes a massive step back. So we might still be the worst team in the division. But as long as we're not the worst team by a wide margin, then I'll feel okay. Well, it is what it is. we're in a tough division. So by default, a third of our games are going to be tough games. Now, on top of that, we also play the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers, week 3 and week 4. I mean, those games are going to be tough. I just saw them play. I believe it was Friday night on YouTube. Both teams look pretty solid. Definitely not going to be pushovers by any means. New Orleans, in New Orleans, might be the easiest game we had all season. Because the Saints, not only do they have horrible cap right now, I mean, last time I checked, they were the furthest over the cap, and it was by a wide margin. Not only that, they're starting Spencer Rattler, and I don't even know who else they have on that team, bro. I mean, I don't know. New coach. No, well, the new coach came in last season. I don't know did they have a new coach? I think they have a new coach. A lot of changes going on at New Orleans to sum it all up. So I think that might be the only surefire win I have. I mean, no win is surefire, but if I had to pick one, it'd be New Orleans, right? And that's only 1 out of 5 games already. So at worst, we're 1-5. And if we're 1-5 by that point, going into Philadelphia, oh man, oh boy, it's not going to be good. Then after skip Philadelphia, week 6, I'm looking forward to that one for sure. We already know what that one's going to be. Denver should be tough. Philadelphia again, week 8. Then San Francisco, who San Francisco will be good. They're not going to be terrible. They're never going to be terrible. No matter how bad. Like, they'll never be terrible. I'm sorry. That's going to be a tough game. Chicago looks like they might take a step up with the new coach and acquisitions they've gotten online and all that stuff. So, Green Bay, come on. Green Bay is going to be a tough one. Detroit. These games are killer, guys. Like, unless someone takes a massive step back or a crazy injury, these games are going to be tough. There are no guarantees anywhere. But outside of New Orleans, maybe New England, unless they they just got Mike Vrabel, so they might not be pushovers anymore either. Then we got Washington, again, Minnesota, Las Vegas, and Dallas. Las Vegas, they just got Pete Carroll, and they got Geno Smith, and they got Ashton Genty, and they got Brock Bowers, and they got Max Crosby on defense. I mean, that they won't be pushovers either. Honestly, outside of New Orleans, I'm not sure about any of these games, guys. To be honest with you, outside of New Orleans, I'm not sure of any of these games. I'm looking at very worst case scenario, 1-15. But I won't go that far. To be honest, no matter how tough this schedule is, my guess, my prognostication for how the season will go, I believe our floor is 6 wins. We're going to beat some people that on paper doesn't look like we can beat. All right? That's my guess. 6 wins is the floor. Basically doubling our win total from last season. Is that a good season? Absolutely not. But it just doesn't show progress, especially with a tough schedule. Yes, 6 wins with this schedule is not like the worst thing ever. It sucks, but if we can get 6 wins against any of these teams at all, outside of the Saints, 5 extra wins against these teams, to me, that will show progress. But that's my floor. If we go anything under 6 wins, I'll be mad. And I'll be like, okay, might have to fire somebody. But, of course, that depends on how the games go. If we're competitive in every single game and we get only 3 wins, okay. Because you remember last season, there were games where we weren't competitive at all. Like, we were getting blown out by 20-plus points, and it wasn't even close. And the games were unwatchable. But there are games where it's super close. It comes down to the last couple minutes, and the better team makes the better plays at the opportune time, as they usually do. Okay, that would suck. We'll be mad. We'll be complaining. But 6 wins with this schedule, to me, won't be the worst thing ever. And I think at that point, I would say keep Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll, just so we can keep that continuity. Keep the coaching staff. let's see what we can do next season. Because I imagine next season, Jackson Dart will be the starter. So that is my, I guess, what do we call it? Synopsis? I don't know the proper word. For how the season is going to go. 6 wins at the bare minimum. Jackson Dart doesn't come in until we either eliminate from the playoffs or clinch a playoff berth, which the latter sounds crazy, but it's possible. So we'll see how things go. I am excited. I'm not going to go overly excited like we did in 2023 after we actually made the playoffs and we all thought, oh, Daniel Jones is finally going to take that step. Brian Daboll was the quarterback whisperer. We all remember how that season went. I'm not there. I'm not there as far as hype. I'm just happy with the draft picks and the free agency signings that we've made this past offseason. And most notably, the restructuring of the quarterback room. I think all those things will lead us to winning more games than expected and will lead us to having a much better season than this one was. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Looking forward to this season. We start our journey against the Washington Commanders. Jayden Daniels, come on down. The Giants are looking for you. That being said, y'all have a great night. It's almost 12 o'clock over here. I'm about to go to sleep. And look forward to tomorrow's festivities. So what was my saying? It's been so long. Oh yeah, I remember now. Win or lose, go Big Blue.